as the sun dipped beyond the verdant hills of Oregon, casting a golden hue across the small town, Lena Carter sat in her makeshift workshop, the scent of solder and metal wafting through the air. Her fingers deftly maneuvered around the innards of an old computer, a symphony of clinking tools and humming circuits resonating in the small room that had become her sanctuary. While the world outside pulsed with the laughter of children and the chatter of neighbors, Lena found solace in the quiet hum of technology, a language she had taught herself to speak fluently. Born into a family where volume equated to value, Lena often felt like a whisper in a cacophony. Her father, a man whose conviction and authority often eclipsed his understanding, believed that the loudest voice held the most wisdom. Meanwhile, her older brother Mark mastered the art of rhetoric, spinning grand tales and empty promises that seemed to earn him the admiration of their father and the townsfolk alike. In this environment, Lena learned to tread softly, her brilliance masked beneath layers of silence. The birth of 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝘆 Systems was supposed to herald a new beginning for their family, a shared venture that would showcase their collective talents. On paper, her father proudly donned the title of CEO, while Mark strutted around as the operations guru, leaving Lena relegated to the role of technical support. Yet, unbeknownst to them, Lena was the architect of their success, her nights consumed by code, her weekends dedicated to designing infrastructures that would one day streamline life-critical medical logistics. As the company burgeoned, investors flocked to their office, intrigued by the revolutionary technology Lena had crafted. Each time she presented her work with clarity and poise, her father would interject, simplifying her brilliance into digestible morsels, stealing her thunder, while Mark nodded along. The meetings felt like stages where she was the unseen performer, her heart heavy with the weight of unrecognized contributions. 4 years passed, and 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗆 emerged as an indispensable entity within the healthcare networks, managing sensitive operations that saved lives. The day the Atlas Group, a formidable corporation, expressed interest in acquisition, Lena felt the ground shift beneath her. While her family celebrated, toasting champagne and making grand plans for a future they assumed was secured, Lena's heart raced as she meticulously reviewed the contract. Panic set in when she discovered her name was nowhere to be found. No equity, no position, no acknowledgement of the blood, sweat, and tears she had poured into the company. In a private moment of confrontation, her father's dismissive response cut deeper than any blade. Atlas wants leadership continuity, not back-end people. You'll land on your feet, Lena. Mark's insincere smile behind him felt like a betrayal, a confirmation that her contributions had been rendered invisible. That night, shadows cloaked her small room, as she sat alone, reflecting on the time when a data breach scare had nearly resulted in disaster. It was during that crisis that she had implemented the Sentinel mode, a safety measure requiring her expertise for operational integrity, an act of foresight that would soon become her shield. The morning of the gala dawned bright and promising, yet Lena felt a storm brewing inside her. As executives grinned under the harsh stage lights, the atmosphere shifted abruptly when every screen froze, displaying a stark message. Missing system integrity verification. Sentinel mode activated. The room fell silent, a heavy dread replacing the festive air. Panic ensued, phones buzzed with frantic messages, and her father's face drained of color. Mark resorted to barking orders that held no weight. But Lena remained calm and resolute, knowing she held the key to the chaos. Stepping into the heart of the frenzy, she addressed the Atlas Group's legal and compliance teams, her voice steady and unwavering. She unveiled the documentation of her work, the logs, and the auditorial evidence of her participation. The room's atmosphere shifted as realization dawned on them. The system was functioning exactly as designed, and the absence of her supervision had invalidated its operation. Instead of cancellation, Atlas Group imposed a meticulous audit, shaking the very foundations of her father's and brother's leadership. Fines were levied, roles were reassigned, and Lena emerged not just as a survivor, but as the new steward of 𝗧𝗵𝗲𝗆's architecture, security, and compliance. Her compensation reflected the worth she had always known she deserved. Today, as her father laments the loss of control and Mark insists that Lena's reaction was overblown, Lena stands firm in her truth. Because when you build the foundation and others attempt to erase your name, the structure will always remember the hands that held it together. Silence, when paired with preparation, can indeed bring down even the mightiest of empires, revealing the strength that lies beneath.